Works. Dan Shador from Shador School of Music. We're gonna call this, let's say, episode 2. This is about bending and vibrato. Um, One of the key things is to make sure your bends are in tune as well as your vibrato. So, for example, what I would first start out doing is, let's say, take A minor pentatonic. Right? And then also do the blues scale. So for this example, we're just going to use the first 2 positions of these pentatonic scales out of the 5 shapes. So the second one would be, and then the blues scale for that. Oh. So I will go through here. So the first box is starting on the 5th fret, low E, 8th fret, low E, 5th fret, A string, 7th fret, A string, 5th fret, D string, 7th fret, D string, 5th fret, G string, 7th fret, G string. On the B string, you got 5th fret, then 8th fret, then same thing, 5, 8. So now to make that a blues scale, all you need to do is just add 1 extra note. So out of this, 5, 8, now you want to do a chromatic run. So this note right here on the 6th fret is your blue note. And then keep going. Then here it's 5, 7, 8. That's your blue note on the 8th fret. And then 5, 8. Now for the next position, we got 8, 10, 7, 10, 7, 10, 7, 9, 8, 10, 8, 10. Now for the blues scale, we got 8, 10, 7, 10, 7, 10. Now we do the chromatic run, 7, 8, 9. That's your blue note on the 8th fret. And then we got 8, 10, then 8, 10, 11. That's your blue note. So these are the 2 positions we're going to be using. One of the masters of bending and minimal playing would be, good example would be B.B. King. And also Stevie Ray Vaughan. So their big thing is, for example, if we're in A minor pentatonic, BB, what we call the BB box, is just pretty much these 3 notes. Out of that. And so what he does is, see, and he's keeping it very simple. Now with BB, he had a very aggressive vibrato, but he made it work. It was small. So just slowly moving that up. And it's kind of like a mixture where you're pushing up, pulling down. And now when it comes to bending, a big thing is you want to, well, in all music, but especially blues, you want to make sure your bends are in tune. So what I mean by being in tune, for example, if you want to bend up the B string on the 8th fret out of that shape, your goal is to, for example, if you're going up a whole step, so a whole step is skipping 2 frets, so it'd be the 8th fret to the 10th fret. Now what you want to do is, this would be your target note, which would be the note A. So you're bending the flat 7 up to the root. So what I would do is hit that note and try to bend up to pitch and go slow with it. So, and then check your pitch. And then you can go up a half step. And then try that all over the neck. So you can do and then if you really feel brave, you can go a step and a half, you know, which would be, but I don't feel that brave. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna turn on a backing track and just use these 2 pentatonic scales. And I'm gonna mix in with the blue notes. And then, so here we go. Let's give this a shot. And you just want to get the groove first. So, 1, 2, 3. So the accents are on 2 and 4. Just gonna listen to the progression. Then you're back to the A minor. Then you go to a major, then down a half step, and then back to the minor. So this is an A minor, but it's taken the thrill is gone progression. Now, so as you see there, I mixed in vibrato. Now with your vibrato, you want to keep that in tune, like within pitch. So I'm bending up that whole step. Now what I'm doing, I'm aggressively bending it, but I'm keeping it within range of the pitch. Because you can still hear the tonic, which would be the 1. And then another thing is following changes. So you got the blues, say A minor, and then you go to then D minor, and then back to A minor, and then you go, So what I mean by following the changes is, so you got that one chord, you want to try to hit chord tones. So in an A minor chord, you got the notes A, C, E. And then for the D minor, you got D, F, A. And then for this E major, you got, then I'm doing a second inversion. So that would, second inversion. So you got B, E, and then G sharp, which would be your major third. And then I go down a half step, which would make that a D sharp major. So it's kind of like a kind of a walk down to get back to D minor, and then back to 1. So what I'm doing there is I'm outlining the chord of A minor first. And then when it goes to the 4 chord, you would hit the notes in D minor, D, F, and A. If you want, you can add the flat 7 to it to add a little bit more color, which would be C. So let's say that's A. And then you go. What's really cool is to lead into that D minor is that note C is in the 1 chord, A minor. And then you got, that's in the A minor 7, D minor 7 chord. And then when you go to the 5 chord, you hit like the notes A. I wouldn't really hit that C sharp because it's just weird, but you would play so with that I'm hitting that E. I'm trailing back, so I'm hitting the root of the 5 chord, which is also the 5th of A minor. And then that D there, which would be part of that D minor. And then I'm taking that C, bending it up to a D, and then going back to tonic 1. So a very common thing with Stevie Ray Vaughan is he did stuff like, which is also an Albert King thing, whereas he bent that high E up and then added that chromatic note. It just adds more like aggression to it. So it's like, which is pretty cool. So like if you take this a little bit more on the backing track, I'll kind of show you some ideas that Stevie might play or B.B. King. So one sec. Here we go. So flat 3. Then it would be flat 7 to 4. Flat 7 is the D minor. Back to 1. Then E. Chromatic to D. E7. So like keeping your lines very simple. Like motive. Melodic ID. And then you can change it up. Add a little phrase to it. So that explains it a little bit more. We can totally get more in depth. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me at shadorschoolofmusicllc@gmail.com, or you can call, text me, or just shoot me a comment on Facebook. Thank you very much for watching, and looking forward to the next